when you say replant, did you have did you own property? Did you go to a different location?
Yes. Yeah. The
Did you
church owns
do a
this
big
property.
launch Sunday?
Yeah. So the church owns 11 acres. There's actually three buildings. The small chapel, we can't use it. They didn't take care of it for a period of time. It would be $700,000 to fix it. That's the kind of numbers that we're talking about. And the church doesn't have the money
Yeah.
to do that, knowing that we have other things that we need to address. So we had property, didn't move. All that stayed the same. We basically inherited. We took a remnant of people, inherited them and the land, and said, "All right, how do we begin to flourish where God has placed?" Because this church is in a strategic location. There are people moving here. There's plenty of room to spread out. There's plenty of room to do things, to host people on our campus. And we have lots of room to grow and be a healthy church for whatever that
Right.
looks like. And
Yeah.
so the Lord was really kind there.
And then did you do like a launch?
Yeah, we did.
Sorry,
So
did you do like
no,
a launch weekend? And what did that
yes,
look like?
yeah. So not as great as we had hoped. We ended up saying, okay, have we replanted, voted, covenanted as a church the next week in the first week of August, and we said, hey, we're going to relaunch publicly as Covenant Hope Church in, I think it was the 21st of October, something like that.
Yeah.
And we worked towards that. We did a community day on that Saturday. We had all these plans, and we went door to door, and we did a lot of stuff. We invited. We had two partner churches that were involved in that, and the community day didn't go as well because it rained the whole day. And I don't mean just like it rained, like
Oh,
it
bummer.
poured the whole day. And we had it from like 2 to 4 or something like that. And like the last hour, the sun comes out, and we ended up having some families come and show up, and so we were encouraged. But for that first year, Frank, I'm telling you, every ministry thing we did outside of the like off, just outside, it rained. We did an egg
Wow.
hunt the following year in downtown Youngsville, poured rain. It's like everything we do, it rains. So in the midst of that, though, the Lord was really kind. We had our partner churches that helped us, cared for us, were a part of that service, and we relaunched. Like, hey, this is where we're going. And I preached, the first part of Mark's gospel and said, this is what we're doing. We're going to proclaim Christ. We're going to preach the gospel and call people to live life like He calls us to. And that's really how we started. Had a meal after that. Packed our fellowship hall out. There were lots of people there that day that were just supporting us that didn't end up staying, but supported us on that
Right.
day and gave us some momentum to push into 2019 with.
Right. Well, how's it going now? So that was 2018 or
Yeah, that
17?
was 2018. 2018. I've been at the
2018.
church for 4 years. The church will be 4 years old. Covenant Hope will be 4 years old in August.
And you got to do it through COVID and all the
Yeah,
craziness as well. So you
yeah,
kind of had this relaunch situation, and then a year later, COVID hits,
COVID hits.
basically something
Yeah,
like that, right? COVID hits,
yeah,
um, and
yeah. It's
then fast
been
forward 2 more years, and we're here.
yeah. So things are good right now. It's slow. We're not. Uh, it's pretty basic in the sense of what we do. I know that people aren't coming to Covenant Hope because I'm a great preacher. That's not why people are coming. We don't have cool stuff. We have an old church building that we're trying to take care of and steward well, but that's just not who we are. We want to be a
Yeah.
church in the community for the community, and so we have around 60 members, and we have between 80 and 95 on a Sunday. And
Yeah.
I would probably say COVID actually probably helped us in some ways. There are some big churches in our area with people who are on the fringes of those churches who love Jesus, but
Mhm.
just never got connected.
Right.
And, you know, during COVID, we opened about as soon as we could open back. We had the space, we marked it off. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know what decisions we were making at some level, right? We
Yeah.
said, hey, we want to meet. We feel like this is, all this stuff. We'll do it the safest way we think we can. And we started meeting. And through that, I think people just began to feel like, hey, I'm not as connected to that church as I thought I was. And then we began to reach people right around the corner. We saw some people come to faith. We've reached literally, I can throw a baseball from the pulpit to this guy's house